Welcome friends once again to Chemistry Connect. In today's video, I'll be taking you through the topic called industrial processes. And majorly, in this session, I'll be taking you through the manufacture of sodium hydroxide and manufacture of chlorine. For those who have not yet subscribed to our channel, please let's go there. We first subscribe, like and share for more tutorials and more videos. And whenever you find something very important and you liked the video, don't always forget to recommend other friends of yours also to keep on learning from this platform. Let's go directly to manufacture of sodium hydroxide. I request those who are having pens and books, you keep on pausing. You can keep on pausing and you note down some of this content that you can always use it in your revision. And whenever you have any question, put in the comment section, or you can call on this number 7793-80625 for more details, and also the email is there. You can always send your comments and any other question that you have on the comment section. When you go to manufacture of sodium hydroxide, we said these are the questions that come especially in section B, part 1. Section B, part 1 of a standard paper is about the industrial processes. And whenever industrial processes come, a question under industrial process, what comes in our mind? So the first thing which comes in our mind is to identify the product. Today, we're looking at our first product, which is sodium hydroxide. After knowing the product we want to produce, then we need to find out the raw materials. What is it that we need to start with? What are the things that this product comes from? Those are the raw materials. After identifying the raw materials, we look at the process of production. After looking at the process of production, then we look at the side effects of the production process of that product and its mitigation, because we're looking at a learner who identifies the problem and then also gives us how this problem can be mitigated. And finally, the last part of this is looking at the social benefit. How important, how beneficial is the production process of that particular product? Let's go directly to the raw materials of producing sodium hydroxide. So when you're producing sodium hydroxide, majorly the major raw material is concentrated sodium chloride, or another name is what you call the brine. So here you get your scores for the raw materials. Then you go to the production process. So in the production process, we're saying that during the maturity cell. Why are we saying during the maturity cell? In this case, we are looking at especially the cathode. You recall we are looking at manufacture of sodium hydroxide. Where is it coming from? It's coming from the concentrated sodium chloride solution. If you recall very well in the topic of electrolysis, which I believe those who have not watched that video of electrolysis of sodium chloride, please let's go back on our channel and then we watch the practical, because it is a practical session about electrolysis of sodium chloride. So we can look there and then we see what happens. But we shall also be looking at that, its application in the manufacture of sodium hydroxide. So I'm saying that the mature cell is the one which is acting, maturely is the one which is acting as our cathode. And majorly all our observations as we produce sodium hydroxide, it is all at the cathode, which we are using as the maturely. That's why we are seeing during the maturity cell. So during the maturity cell, concentrated sodium chloride, which is brine, is fed in the cell as the electrolyte using graphite as anode and mercury as the cathode. So the mercury is the cathode and then graphite is acting as the anode. Now, what happens at the cathode? You call our major emphasis now is at the cathode. At the cathode, why? Because it's where we see the sodium ions going, and yet it's where from that we're going to get our sodium hydroxide. So at the cathode, you recall when sodium chloride ionizes. When it ionizes, it produces sodium ions and chloride ions. But also don't forget that as we are dissolving it, we dissolve it in water, which means we have some hydrogen ions from water and hydroxide ions from water. So cathode being a negatively charged electrode, that's where the positive ions in which are in the solution, that's where they are going to be attracted. So these ions are going to be attracted towards the cathode, and when they go there, what is going to be discharged? So that's what we're looking at. So both the sodium and hydrogen ions migrate towards the cathode. They migrate towards the cathode, but sodium ions are, here we can use the word are instead of is, are preferentially discharged to hydrogen ions since it is very concentrated. The sodium hydroxide, we call it is very concentrated. That's why we're saying that the sodium ions are preferentially discharged to hydrogen ions. So when they go there charged with positive charge, now they are discharged. And what happens? So the sodium ions undergo reduction. When they are discharged, they undergo reaction by gain of electrons and get deposited at the mercury cathode. They get deposited at the mercury cathode. You call our cathode is the one we used as mercury. Now, when it is deposited there, it forms what you call sodium mercury amalgam. Sodium mercury amalgam. Now, this sodium mercury amalgam is the one which is dissolved in water. It is dissolved in water to form sodium hydroxide. Which is purified, concentrated, and stored. It is purified, concentrated, and stored. So that is all that we wanted. What we wanted is the manufacture of sodium hydroxide. And at this level, we can see that we already have our sodium hydroxide, which is finally purified, concentrated, and stored. Here are a few equations which we have already elaborated more in our discussion, where sodium is being discharged. So the sodium ion is discharged to form sodium metal, and then you recall because it is deposited at the cathode, which is made of mercury, it forms what we call mercury amalgam. It is here, sodium mercury amalgam. And now when it is dissolved in water, that's when it forms sodium hydroxide plus water and then mercury. So that is all that we needed to know what happens during the manufacture of sodium hydroxide. And we say that when we are looking at the industrial processes, after looking at how the product is produced, we need to find out, are there some of the side effects that can come along during the production process? So that's where we go to the side effects of the production process. We look at the side effects of the production process. Now, we're saying that during the production of sodium hydroxide, there can be what you call air pollution, and you get a score. Air pollution is the danger, is a side effect of the production process. So air pollution from what? From emission of chlorine. You call, as you're producing sodium hydroxide, even chlorine gas is produced on the other electrode. But also we have hydrogen gas. When we look at this, there's hydrogen gas that is also released. And there are other particulate matter which can be released into the atmosphere. So all these are the ones we're saying that they can bring about air pollution. When you talk about the danger, don't forget to tell us what this danger can bring about, the effect of that danger. So the effect of that danger, we're saying that air pollution leading to what? This air pollution can lead to eye irritation. It can lead to skin irritation and even breathing difficulty. So that is another score. You call here, you get a score for danger. You get a score for the effect. And then finally, how do we mitigate? How do we curb? How do we prevent this danger from happening? So I'm saying that this effect can be mitigated by enforcing proper use of protective gears. Very good. This is the point I could say it is a pregnant point. Pregnant point in the way that it gives you 3 marks. So make sure that you don't need to give very many points. Instead, give an elaborated point, well explained and mitigated. You can see we talked about the danger, which is air pollution. We talked about where this air pollution is coming from. But we didn't stop there. We continue to say what it can lead to, its effects. Then finally, we said this can be mitigated. We are looking at the solution. Don't forget, we are looking at the problem solvers. We want learners who are problem solvers. Not being there, you say, this one can bring air pollution. And so what? What can we do to prevent that air pollution? So that's when we give a point that is a pregnant point, giving you the 3 scores. Let's look at the second point. But as I said in the previous sessions, we can always put 1 point, so long as it is very explained. Now, another point is about water pollution. So water pollution is the danger. You get a point. Now tell us how it comes about. Water pollution from effluent discharge. Effluent discharge, you call when this is the water which can come out when we are cleaning or we are finished producing or during the process of production of sodium hydroxide. When that effluent is discharged containing mercury and other contaminants, this lowers the quality and safety for both man and aquatic animals, leading, see, it is giving us the effect leading to suffocation and death. It can be suffocation and or death of aquatic animals. So that is the what? The effect. Now we don't end there. We continue to look at how we can mitigate. How do we mitigate this? So I'm saying that this effect is mitigated by encouraging effluent treatment plant through neutralization, sedimentation, and filtration before discharge. So you can see this is a point we say it is a pregnant point. It gives you 3 scores. Please, this areas of industrial processes, let it not be a challenge to you. Make sure when you find such a question, let it be your time to enjoy the beauty of chemistry. Okay, please, as we continue to learn, if you have not yet subscribed, click on that subscription button and also click on notification button so that whatever I release, you don't miss it out. Don't forget that this holiday we shall be having online lessons. Just inbox me on those contacts which I showed you. Inbox me there or on the email, and I'll be able to respond to you on how the lessons will be conducted. Let's look at our last part under industrial processes, which is social benefits of the production process. So we want to know, as you're producing this kind of product, are there some of the benefits that we can get from the production process? Let's look. Number one, employment opportunity. This is a benefit. You get a score. Now, when we say that in this area, we give a pregnant point, our point should give us 3 scores. Where do they come from? You give a benefit, then you tell us why and how, or how and why. So when you talk about employment opportunity, we would like to know how this employment opportunity comes about. And when it comes, then we need to see why. What is it bringing about? That is what we want to see in this. So it should give you 3 scores. So I'm saying that employment opportunity to both the skilled, this is to both the skilled. So you can put to both the skilled and unskilled laborers in the area, hence earning income. So they earn the what? Income. When they're employed, they earn income. This enables them to improve their standards of living, meeting some of their basic needs. You see, so when they earn income, then their standards of living also become better. So you get all your 3 scores. For the case of revision, I gave you another point, which is source. The production process of this is a source of government revenue. How? Through taxation. And this supports the government programs through infrastructure development. So we have already known how. Then after that, hence improving on the standards of living of people in the country. You see, each and every point I put a score, and I'm saying each point you give that is a pregnant point, very well explained, you get the 3 scores. So a number under this section, it can give you all the 11 scores. What you need to do is to prepare. Don't spot. I know senior 4s, you're yet to start on your mock exams this soon, and you name. As you prepare, all senior 3s, you're in senior 1, or senior 2, when you're looking at industrial processes, make sure that you don't spot out when you're reading. Read intensively different industrial processes. Be ready. You'll find out that some of these things are very common, like employment opportunity. I don't believe that we have any product that can be produced in an industry and it doesn't bring about employment opportunity. Because you can't have a boss working for himself alone. And even if he's working for himself, he will still is also employed on that job. So there is still employment opportunity. So that is a point that is very common that I believe that you shouldn't miss out. Even if others you have forgotten them, don't miss out that point. Let's dive very fast to our last, which is the manufacture of chlorine. So manufacture of chlorine gas. The manufacture of chlorine gas, raw material is the same. What differs from sodium hydroxide and chlorine is where they are deposited or where they move to the ions in the solution. Let's dive into manufacture of chlorine. So the raw material, we are saying it is concentrated sodium chloride solution. Also the one we are calling brine. You get all your scores on raw material. In production process, you call in sodium hydroxide, we said during Martley cell. But while here we are saying during diaphragm cell. We are going to get to know why diaphragm cell. Shall understand why. So we're saying that during diaphragm cell, concentrated sodium chloride solution, which is brine, is used as an electrolyte. Using graphite as anode and Martley as the cathode. Okay, the same thing that we had. And then this time round, we are not looking at the cathode. Instead, we are looking at the anode. So at the anode, both chloride and hydroxide ions, you see, where are the chloride ions coming from? They are coming from the concentrated sodium chloride. Now, sodium chloride, it ionizes to form sodium ions and chloride ions. But as I said, this does not dissolve by its own. Instead, we add water to dissolve it. So when you add water to dissolve it, in the solution, there are ions for water, which is hydrogen ions and hydroxide ions. And if you recall very well the law of attraction, the anode is a positively charged electrode. Now, because it is positively charged, the negative ions will be attracted there. Are we seeing that? For the cathode, the positive ions were attracted there. Yet at the anode, the negative ions are being attracted. The law of attraction. Okay, let's continue. So I'm saying that both chloride and hydroxide ions, they migrate towards the anode for discharge. But what is discharge? We are saying, but chloride ions are preferentially discharged to hydroxide ions since it is very concentrated. In real sense, it could have been the hydroxide ions being discharged, but because these chloride ions are highly concentrated in the solution, that's why they are the ones which are preferentially discharged. Okay, so the chloride ions undergo oxidation. If you recall very well, oxidation is what you call the removal of electrons. So it undergoes oxidation reaction by loss of electrons to form chlorine gas, which is collected, purified, compressed, and then stored. So you can see in this case you'll be able to get your scores under manufacture of chlorine. So this is the equation for the reaction that took place. Yeah, that is it. Now, I'm not going to take you through the side effects and social benefits. The side effects, you'll check on the ones that we have already discussed about sodium hydroxide. Then the social benefits also, we shall use the same because this is on the same manufacturer. But also, if there's any other thing that you can add on. Feel free to be creative and add on more points. And if you have any issue, any challenge on what I have shared with you, feel free to send your comment in the comment section. But also, you can inbox on WhatsApp and we shall be able to discuss more about that. So this is something I wanted us to talk about. Diaphragm cell. Why do they say during diaphragm cell? I believe we understood for the first one where we said during the Machuli cell. Now diaphragm cell is just a barrier used to keep the products apart. The other barrier that they put in the middle to prevent when you have one electrode on one side and another electrode on the other side, we want to separate these so the products are apart. We are producing chlorine gas, then on another electrode we are producing sodium hydroxide. So to prevent the contamination, that's why they use the diaphragm cell, and all this is to prevent the contamination. So we're saying that this diaphragm is made of asbestos fibers, or what we call the modern fibers, modern polymers, and is pressed between the anode and the cathode. We have already said the reason why it is pressed there is to prevent the contamination of the products which are formed. If you found this video good for you, please don't forget to like. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and also subscribe. Share to your friends so that they can also be part of this discussion. And in our online lessons, live lessons, don't forget, if you want to be part of those who learn live lessons online, don't forget to send your email. Here you can send a message on this email, Isaac Nyirimbibi47 at gmail.com, or you can call me on this number or WhatsApp. This is on WhatsApp, but also you can call. Then we make arrangements on how we can have live lessons. Otherwise, I want to wish you the best. Just keep on enjoying the beauty of chemistry. God bless.